to this significant event, which is really a gathering that not only unites us, but symbolizes the convergence of our aspirations and the efforts and shared dreams of a thriving Kenya. Excellency, this wonderful event has been made possible by the kind and generous support from our sponsors, KCB, Konza Technopolis, GIZ, Vidu, among others, and we're very grateful for that. So in today's conversation, we're hoping to have a reflective moment where we think about where the State Department for Diaspora Affairs and our diaspora has come from, where we have gone, and what the future looks like. Your Excellency, it's exactly 12 months and 9 days ago since you gave us the authority by establishing the State Department for Diaspora Affairs to do this important work. This opportunity, sir, envisions a future where the diaspora's impact is not only financial, but most importantly, transformative. And I am proud to report, sir, that we have made important strides in fulfilling those promises. As far as protection of the rights and welfare of the diaspora, Excellency, together with other state agencies, we've been able to evacuate 1,350 Kenyans from distress situations, in human trafficking, in conflict, medical evacuations, and so on. And sir, just to mention that in some of these places where we've had conflicts, Kenya has been the first country to get its citizens home during these conflicts. Excellency, under the promotion of continuous dialogue, we've held many conversations such as these. You probably don't see them with a lot of branding because a lot of them happen virtually because that is where our diaspora are. We are working on the incentive framework for diaspora remittances, sir, and very early on you gave me a target of shillings 1 trillion in remittances, which I am happy to report we are working very hard on. We have seen a 14.1% increase in our remittances in this year, and we expect to close in a strong position. Excellency, some of the things we've been able to do working with the CBK and others have been to launch, for example, the DAO CSD that now allows diasporians to buy treasury bills and bonds from an app or from a web platform. Excellency, as you're aware, you also gave us the very hard task of finding diaspora jobs for Kenyans, and together with the State Department for Labor and Skills and Social Protection and Skills and the entire ministry and other players, sir, we have embarked on the Global Labor Market Strategy. And sir, to thank you for creating the Diaspora Placement Agency that now targets our ability to really take up the fruit of our bilateral labor agreements and be able to find opportunities for Kenyans abroad. Now that we have, in this year, Your Excellency, stabilized the consular situation, we've been able to deal to a large extent to the crisis that we had in the Middle East among Kenyan labor. We've been able to deal with consular issues. Excellency, a year ago today, you gave me the task and you said, I don't want Kenyans to travel far and wide to be able to get their passports and IDs. In the last 12 months, sir, we've been able to serve Kenyans in 22 countries, taking the mobile consular services in about 100 different cities where services are to be found. And we've served people, sir, who've not seen us anywhere, including in Yemen, Your Excellency. What is the dream of this ministry for the diaspora? Diasporians, I am inviting you to do 4 things. I am inviting you to invest back home. And this is what we are going to be speaking about today. I am inviting you to join us in the skills and technology transfer work that is critical, that we must do. What will you bring us from the places that you live and work and from all of the technologies and things that you have learned? We want you to partner with us to open up trade routes for Kenyan products and Kenyan services wherever you live. And finally, we want you to work hard to help us find opportunities for Kenyans abroad for jobs where you live and work. And on behalf of the State Department and the government, then we commit to work tirelessly and hard to ensure that all Kenyans abroad continue to be protected, to be engaged, to be empowered for our collective responsibility.
That this event is taking place here when we are celebrating 60 years of independence. That is a critical milestone. The message here is that the Kenyan diaspora has truly come of age, and it is therefore important that they take their rightful space in the development agenda of our country. A few days ago, I was in the UK, and I had an opportunity to interact with the diaspora there. They are raring to go. They want their footprint broadened. And therefore, this gathering here will give us that opportunity to enable that to happen. My request to you is that we need your help to also inform debate on the local scene. Your Excellency, let me just pick one example, something called privatization, because our diaspora is really exposed to a lot of models of privatization, of partnership between the public sector and the private sector. We want you to be part of this robust debate that is taking place in Kenya today. Because for us to make sense out of anything, it has to be an informed debate. And your exposure on certain aspects contributes significantly to this. I was, maybe 2 weeks ago, as we were at the COP event, led by His Excellency the President, one of the news items that was running was that the Saudi Investment Fund had taken up 12% shares in Heathrow Airport. The Saudi Investment Fund purchasing 12% of Heathrow Airport. Now, I bring this as a vivid example because as the Saudi invest 12% in Heathrow Airport, have they uprooted it from London and taken it to Riyadh? It still remains an asset in the United Kingdom, but they are part of the profit process. We need to get our people to understand that when we talk about broadening the space, it's to bring in capital, to bring in technology, to bring in resources that you may not be able to raise on the local front. Now, it's this kind of engagement that I'll be putting across to you as members of the diaspora to enrich that debate on the local scene so that the broader aspects of us drawing capital and bringing in FDI can be seen from a broader perspective. We were having a light moment with the president here, and somebody said, why are you selling KICC? The government talked about privatization. They did not talk about disposal of KICC. Two distinct things. What would be wrong if part of the diaspora fund was to become a fund that invests, the Kenyan diaspora fund becomes part of the partnership in actually commercializing the KICC operations, but it is also an investment that benefits you and benefits the people of Kenya. So these are some of the engagements that I would say that might be very, very useful as you converse, so that we help in enriching debate here and broadening exposure, so that people don't start imagining that the government of Kenya is on some kind of free-for-all disposal activity. That is not the case. And therefore, as we talk about the other investment opportunities along please think about these issues and figure out how you can perhaps help us in making sure that the understanding is deeper, better, broader, and therefore we can move faster.
I am delighted to join you for this important Diaspora Investment Conference, where powerful conversations shall take place touching on the core of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Before I go further, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and in particular, Kenyans who have traveled from far and wide, from different continents, and using different means. And again, let me repeat, karibuni nyumbani. I'm also quite proud to witness the culmination of the government's commitment to our diaspora. And for the sake of clear context, I shall set out our commitment in a bit of detail. In our plan, we committed to create a dedicated State Department for Diaspora Affairs whose mandate would be to improve government service delivery, establish a diaspora forum, promote greater local investment by Kenyans living abroad, facilitate through intentional measures greater access to overseas employment opportunities for Kenyans, foster the transfer of knowledge, skills, and technology through strategic engagement, promoting the welfare of Kenya's diaspora, and leveraging our diaspora to enhance Kenya's international profile. We have been committed to enrich our engagement with our brothers and sisters living and working abroad beyond the asymmetrical preoccupation with remittances. At any rate, the diaspora's contribution through remittances has overtaken the performance of our major exports and now constitute a major anchor of economic stability and driver of investments in our country. The State Department of Diaspora Affairs is the host of the first Kenyan Diaspora Investment Conference, whose agenda is dedicated to facilitating richer conversation, fostering greater understanding, and strengthening our partnership in investment promotion across various sectors of our economy. This event, therefore, eloquently testifies to the government's commitment in delivering its commitment to the diaspora. I am encouraged to note that during this conference, you are going to be engaged in robust deliberations on various dimensions of investment, from general experience to sectoral components like financial services, real estate, and strategic value chains like agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, and of course, the new sphere of creative economy. I am glad to note further that this conference promises to facilitate rewarding engagements on such specialized investment areas as public-private partnerships, the fintech and startup ecosystems, and that the Kenya investment environment, which has now significantly upgraded its attractiveness proposition, as well as aspects of social welfare and social protection relevant to both you living in the diaspora and to your families living here in Kenya. As government, and by keeping the promise of bringing diaspora issues to the center of our policy, programs, and initiatives, I am happy when I see such events that seek to engage a section of our population that was for a long time sidelined on matters of national development and national discourse. However, for the diaspora to be involved in the socio-economic development back home, they have to be secure and flourishing in their host countries. As government of Kenya, the security and safety of all citizens is our foremost commitment and most fundamental obligation, without which every other endeavor, including the conversation we are having here, about investment would not be possible. We shall continue to engage our diaspora across the globe with the objective of providing systems and structures to protect the rights and welfare of diaspora while mainstreaming their contribution to nation building in every sector of our economy. During my first engagement with the diaspora in December 2022, I committed to decentralize, automate, and digitize as many government services as we can so that the diaspora can access them online and do not have to spend hours or even whole days traveling to get consular service. I can confirm that we have expanded digital provision of public services to encompass 14,000 services, government services. And it is our commitment to ensure full digitization, which has not only enhanced efficiency and integrity in the provision of government services, but also improved revenue collection. Additionally, we have rolled out the mobile consular service exercise that has now covered 22 countries and served over 9,000 Kenyans abroad at the closest points to where they live. To connect our highly skilled and innovative human capital with employment opportunities, we have developed the global labor market strategy that will facilitate Kenyans, especially young people, find work abroad. Our objective in implementing all these measures to create safe migration pathways, friendly environment to work in the diaspora, and seamless networks that facilitate, promote, and support diaspora investments back home. The theme of today's conference, Tujenge Kenya, Bridging Borders, Building Futures, is a call to action, summoning us to make our contribution to the growth and development of our nation and to build bridges across all real and imaginary barriers, obstacles, and borders that stand in the way of our progress. This event, therefore, serves as a platform to strengthen the bond between Kenya and its diaspora, to forge partnerships that transcend borders, and to build futures that are prosperous and inclusive. As a country, we are entering the phase of economic transformation where opportunities abound in every sector, and we encourage you to seize your chance and reap a rich yield. You've heard from Susan, the governor of Nakuru, about the opportunities in our counties. They will have an opportunity to engage with you, I'm told, on Friday, so that you can explore the opportunities in various parts of Kenya, the richness of our nation, the diversity of our opportunities, and look at what each and every one of you can mobilize, either yourself, individually, collectively, or even working with other partners from where you currently work, to see how we can promote our country, because you are the foremost ambassadors of Kenya, wherever you are.